When Ms Watson completed her statement, she referred in two paragraphs, 31 and 63, to an inspector, Detective Inspector Murnane. That statement was provided to him and he's provided a response which has been given to Ms Watson by her solicitors. Yep. And as a result, she amended paragraph 31 in the manner she indicated. The original statement had in 1999 and it was amended to
it was the date that I wasn't quite sure, but I would have thought that the LEAP database would have that recorded.
I tender a email from the detective setting out his response to those two paragraphs, and copies are available. There will need to be some redactions done before it's made publicly available.
So this is an email from?
Paul Murnane.
Make it Exhibit 2817.
Thank you, Your Honour. I have no questions of the witness.
Do we have anything from Detective Ryan?
No.
Who Ms Watson referred to, we'll need to talk about that. Do we have anything from Detective Ryan? I just need to say the same thing, Mr Gray, in relation to Bishop Connors and Bishop Bird.
Yes, Your Honour, and as I've said, the approach that my clients have taken is an approach that applies to all witnesses.
It's a matter for you and your clients, but I need to say this to you each time, lest there be any misunderstanding in relation to what the Commission may do by way of making findings.
Yes, I'm just observing, Your Honour, that the same issue did arise a number of times yesterday before Your Honour raised it with me today, and the same approach applies. That is, that my clients have taken the view that they do not wish to add to the distress of the witnesses in this hearing where it's difficult enough, and that where necessary, as in some places it plainly is, the people in question, whether it be Bishop Connors or anyone else, will make their response known. My clients, Your Honour, as the Commission would be aware, have had these statements from the witnesses only since about late last week.
Mr Gray, you've had them for time enough to have sought instructions, but those instructing you should... Mr Gray, you've had them for time enough to have sought it, that the Church has adopted the stance which it has.
No,
it's not relevant to any finding which we may be asked to make or indeed make.
I do understand that, Your Honour, but the only observation I would make is that my clients trust in good faith and without any doubt that the Commission would not make findings against anyone, whether it be a church person or anyone else, without giving that person the opportunity to be heard.
Well, that's precisely why I'm raising this with you now.
No, I'm talking about a statement.
Well, no, a statement is one thing.
Yes.
But if you want to challenge, or those who instruct you want to challenge what a witness says on a particular issue, that is another thing.
It is. Your Honour, I'm sorry to be taking the time, but the practice guideline requires us to challenge someone where it is to be submitted that that person is not to be believed or has been deliberately untruthful. I do not expect to be making any such submission in relation to any of the witnesses who have given evidence.
Well, the consequence which will flow from that, in the most likely event, is the witness will be believed, and that will found a finding.
Well, it will. I don't want to traverse that, Your Honour, but there will be other evidence one expects, which no doubt the Commission will consider, but I don't seek to say any more about it.
Well, Mr Gray, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm sure those instructing you do. There must be no misunderstanding about this. These are significant and serious questions as to the way your client has responded to the allegations. That's what it comes down to, and they are issues which we will have to determine having regard to the evidence before us. But if the proposition from your client is that all of these witnesses should be believed, you can appreciate that it's likely that it might be said in relation to evidence that you might bring by others, it might be submitted that they shouldn't be believed. Now, that's a matter for you and your clients.
The submission that I have anticipated, Your Honour, is not that they should be believed if their evidence is different from something that somebody from one of my clients ultimately says. The submission, what I'm observing at the moment is that I do not have instructions at the moment, and don't expect to have them, to challenge any of these witnesses on the basis that they are being deliberately untruthful.
Well, I've said enough, I think.
Yes, Your Honour.
Yes, thank you, Ms Watson. Sorry to delay you, but thank you for your,
All very interesting.
statement, and your son.